Hello again to another review where I review a game um where I played as white again. And this is the game after, not technically after, more like a game after than the one that I previously covered. So I'm guessing after this it's gonna be the game that got me to 700. So right now we're at 695. So here's how the game started. I went for e4, e5, and they went for knight f3. He pushes this. Now, I did something stupid because one time I remember that a person or a player did this after I put knight, and the engine said the best move should be this. He takes and I check. If he blocks, check and get the. You know what I mean? Basically that. So what he did was not that, which is this. And in my mind, I thought he moved this. That's why that happened. Amazingly. And Here's the eval, by the way, the evaluation bar. So basically, I'm fucked. At this point, I'm fucked. But something will happen in the later stages. You see. So at this point, boom, takes my knight. Got no response. All I can think of is finding a check. There, check, get out. And he put his queen there, and I think he was threatening this. But I remember just pushing this and not seeing, excuse me, and not seeing this. So basically, boom. Um, if he takes the rook, I can take his queen. So what he did was move back. I took with the pawn, so that's two. That's like two pawns for me, and he has a pawn and a knight. And he moved this knight to a6. My turn was I tried to threaten the queen, which I forgot this bishop was guarding this square, or and this square. I mean, this just this square. I am forgetting that the bishop's guarding that square. So you gotta check. Also, I didn't see this. I didn't see this. The bishop was also guarding this. So basically, he got a free check, and I tried blocking with the queen. He got the rook, and at this point, I'm like, fuck. I'm down like 8 points of materials. I should just resign. That's what's going through my mind at this point. But in my head, I just said, all right, if I at least get the queen, if I at least get a queen, there's still a chance. So that's what I went for. I tried blocking with the queen. With every check he uses with the queen, I tried to block it. He goes for that check. I block it with the queen, and he finally accepts the trade, which I actually took the queen with. So at this point, in my mind, I was like, okay, at least there's a chance. So he moved that, and I moved back. He moved this, threatening this. So nothing's guarding this, right? So if I put it up, I'm dead. So what in my mind is that in my mind is also I should just trade at this point. I'm losing materials, might as well at least make it even more simpler for me. So I put my bishop there. He accepts it. He accepts the trade, and I took back. So he's now threatening this pawn. And also, I didn't see this. He was also going for here. I didn't see this, by the way. I didn't saw this. Didn't saw this. I didn't saw this. So after he takes, I didn't see that he can go for here. I didn't see nothing was protecting this anymore. So um, trade happens. Boom, boom. At this point, the knight's already there. Even if I move something, even if I move my king, it's just nothing. Even if I move here, he gets a free rook. At this point, I'm basically thinking this game over. I should just resign, but never resign, never resign, never resign. So at least I push a pawn. He gets there, and I know that the rook is dead. I don't know what to do at this point. I just move the knight, and the engine says, like, even if I move anything, even if I move this, he's just basically winning at this point. He's basically winning. So there goes my rook. I have no more rooks. So I push this pawn, and if he takes, he didn't take. So I guess I took this. No, I just kept on pushing. Just kept on pushing. So he played this, which if I take, um, he'll be able to get this. So what I did here was I put the bishop here, so that if he takes, I take, and I'm threatening his rook. That's the only thing I can think of. So the rook is now basically somewhat dead. I mean, he can still block, but the e-ball is still in his favor. So he moved this, move this pawn. I don't know why. So if I take the rook, he gets a free pawn. I'm willing to get that trade. So I get the free rook, he gets a free pawn, and I move back, threatening the rook. So he moves this. Now, now this where the evil bar somewhat goes up. So I move my knight just to threaten this. It wasn't anything fancy. I just moved my knight here just to threaten this. He could easily avoid this by going here, but no, he took it. He took, and that's basically dead rook. And he moved another pawn, and that's basically a dead knight also. So we're almost back in material. We just need. I'm down only 2 materials apart from 8 earlier. So here comes the endgame. So he moves his knight to h6. I checked, trying to get this pawn. I got the pawn now, threatening the bishop. So he moved his knight. I don't know why I'm trying not getting the pawn yet. I mean the bishop yet. But I think I am trying to put the bishop here to check and at least make the king leave the square. But in reality, if he goes to a white square, it's gonna be hard to at least now his knight is dead here. His knight is just dead. He cannot move here anymore. His knight is dead. His knight is just basically dead. So if he moves to g4, capture. If he moves to f3, the problem is I will put my king here. So if he moves f3, he's dead. And if he moves to f1, death. So basically, this rook is now dead. This knight is now dead. So I so he pushed that pawn. I check, and the evil bar goes to favor him. So he walks up. I put my bishop back so that at least I can capture the. The problem is, this can now be moved. That's a problem. But he just kept on moving his pawn, and I just got a free bishop and another pawn, and it says the evil bar um, goes to his favor because if he goes here, he probably takes. Nothing is stopping this. I cannot put this here. I cannot put this here. If I put this there, it's basically death. So basically, this is gonna make another queen. But I think he didn't saw. I think he didn't saw that line, so he went for this, which in my eyes is a bad. Which in everyone's eyes should be a bad move. So I don't know why I put it there. Maybe just because I could. I don't know. So he puts his king there, but at this point it's being guarded by my pawn, so that's a free pawn. He moves. He's still trying to go. He's now trying to go for this pawn. So I got the free knight, and he's now going for this pawn. Now, in my head, it took a few minutes to think that if I go here, then here I can threaten this pawn because 1, 2 is death. So 1, 1, 2, 2. That's that was like my plan. So 3, I get this pawn. So my plan was to start moving the knight, and he then moved his king. Knowing this, I put my knight here. Now um, if he takes uh, if he takes my pawn, I take his pawn too. So he did took it, and I did take the pawn, making a check. So I move my knight, and he moves his king here, threaten my knight. I move my knight out of the way. He moves here, and at this point, I need to take this. I need to take this. I don't care if my knights get. I don't care if this gets taken. Just need to push this. I just need to push this. And he resigned after that. After I played pawn to h4. So this is a for so a very important lesson here is never resign. Even though I just resigned 4 of my games earlier, but never resign. If if you're around the 300 or at least let's say around 900 digits, but I can't speak for the 900s because I'm still 700. So if you're at least 3 digits of elo, never resign because there's a chance that the enemy can blunder hard, like this guy. And it's still a good game. He did good. SX Boy 7 did good, but he just blundered when he just took the pawn here. He just blundered when he tried to take the pawn there. He just blundered. So never give up and never resign. There's a chance that the enemy might blunder, and it will give you the upper hand in the battle. Um, that's about it. See ya.